I'm here with Luke de Weert.
Hi.
And he's a professional acro pilot.
Yeah, I start. Oh, twisted sat, rhythmic sat. And look how he's rhythmic. And his rhythm and he's go up.
He looks good, eh?
Up. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
look. The power of his glider. Each round, his vertebra is crying right now.
We're going to talk about dealing with fear of flying. So if you would like to know how the professionals deal with fear of flying, stay tuned. Welcome to Flight Coach. My name is Bas van Duin and it's my mission to help you get more out of life and your flying career through less stress and more skills. And talking about dealing with stress, dealing with fear, I managed to find the one and only Luke de Weert. He's a fellow countryman of mine and we're going to talk about how he deals with the fear of flying. So this will be a bit of a different episode than the ones you saw previously. We're sitting outside, you might hear a little bit of road noise, you might see us wearing sunglasses the whole time because it's very sunny here. Sorry about that. Luke, tell us something about yourself. How did you get into paragliding?
My name is Luke. I'm 20 years old. I'm from the Netherlands. I think I'm flying for now 5.5 years. It's because of my father. Like when I was 10 years old, he brought me to June de Pila. I was playing a little bit with my glider, and at the age of 14, I made my first flight here on the dunes in the Netherlands on the west coast. And since then, I'm addicted and until I think 3 years ago. Since 3 years ago I started Acro paragliding. My father taught me how to do a SAT, and since then I've just been progressively starting to do more acro and acro.
I remember when I learned dune soaring, your dad was already big in the scene in the Netherlands at that time. And we're talking about like 15 years ago maybe.
Something like this, yeah.
And I saw him jumping over a fence with a glider above his head. But he was running, he was kiting, and he jumped over the fence. And I was looking at him, I thought, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, he was quite fast. Also, he tried to progress as much as possible because he was in the school as well. And he just wanted to do more and more, and he saw pilots also doing already acro.
So you learned a lot from your dad?
Yeah.
Did you also go to a formal school?
Of course, at one point it's a good thing to get your license because
Absolutely.
flying without a license, it's not really smart.
It's bad, very bad. Don't fly without a license.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Made my first flight, went perfect, and then after that just flew more and more, and then got better.
Whoa, super. And then you got your licenses, you did the theory examination.
Yeah, exactly. I just did everything like
like
everybody.
pilot,
Everybody does.
So you're like a normal human being, Luke.
Yeah, I'm not any different.
No. Good to hear. Yeah.
Of course, I started quite young. I was quite young when I started paragliding, but I'm not any different than anybody else.
Super.
The shoot!
Oh my God, Luke! This looks dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
This looks very scary to me. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is acro paragliding.
Yeah, this is one trick in acro paragliding. This is called infinity tumbling. Actually, this is called twisted infinity tumbling. But it's infinity tumbling is where you make vertical passes over the glider consistently until you stop the glider or you hit the ground, of course.
And you like doing that?
Yeah. I really enjoy doing acro tricks like this and
doing
spins, flips, and everything. It gives you adrenaline, and I really like this. Also sharing it with your friends and stuff. It's super nice.
And what's your first competition?
I was 17 years old. It was in 2017 in the King of Brenta. This was the year where I was doing one competition just to see if I like it.
Yeah, that was in Italy, right?
Yeah, it was in Italy in Motivational, the lake of Moveno, and I did my competition there. Finished 14th, I think.
Of how many
32 pilots.
So already halfway the field.
Yeah, I was already halfway.
In your first competition.
In my first competition.
That is unbelievable. Nice metrization. It's so good. Oh, Mach twist to helico to the next side. Wow. Luke's going for a sat. Whoa. Double touch. Unfortunately, little too far.
But well done, Luke de Weert. The flow was very good.
Connections were well nice. Placement
Nice
in the
and
box.
perfect.
So he will move up a couple of plates in the ranking.
And
Wow.
last year in 2019, when I was 19 years old, I managed to, I did the whole competition season. Like I took every competition in the season. I competed in every one of them and I finished 5th place in the World Cup.
5th place.
Yeah.
5th place in the World Cup, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Yes, this is a professional.
So-
Luke, I'm gonna call him Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I never expected this to happen. I was like, yeah, maybe if I can get the top 10, I will be really happy. And somehow I managed to finish 5th.
So the main topic of this episode is how professionals, you as an acro or freestyle pilot in this case, deal with fear of flying. Can you
Yeah.
tell us something about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Seeing you fly, Luke, the way you make all these crazy moves, I think you must have balls of steel and no fear whatsoever.
Yeah,
Ever.
that's not really true.
No?
I not literally, but I shit my pants. Yeah, I was scared as hell, for sure.
How did that manifest itself in you? What? Because we talked about signs and symptoms
Yeah.
of fear of flying in an earlier episode. How does your body respond to fear? How do you recognize it?
When I really experienced fear for the first time, where I really thought, oh, I'm scared.
Yeah.
It was my first week when I flew in the mountains. It was not because it was just flying, it was more because everybody was flying, the conditions were great, you can go up really easily in the thermals, perfect conditions, but still I went out, make the thermals, make some small flights where I was flying at the moment, but still I just like in half an hour where I could still fly for maybe 3 hours more, I was going back to the landing because the conditions were just too much for me. I was like scared. I was like, no, what if something happens? And
Yeah. You were starting to mess yourself up in your brain.
kind
Yeah.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was almost every day making like half an hour flights,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe 1 hour if the conditions were a little bit calmer. I just went back to the landing, just thinking about the consequences, what could happen.
Yeah.
Like if
Like
I
things
get-
breaking.
Yeah, not like that. Maybe if I can get a collapse from a thermal exiting or whatever, or some turbulence, can get a collapse and like if I crash or whatever.
Yeah.
I was scared of those consequences.
Yeah.
But yeah, just after time I was, of course, when I'm on the mountain and I see everybody flying, it has to be me, you know. Like,
Yeah.
If everybody is flying and I'm the one scared to land already quite early, it must be me.
You were able to deal with the conditions. You realized that.
Yeah.
And you also realized I'm having an irrational fear. I'm
Yeah.
being afraid. Well, there's not really something to be afraid of.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it took time, you know. I made flights every day. I
Yeah.
was not like I'm staying on the ground
No.
because I'm scared.
Even though you knew you would get scared,
Yeah.
you just kept trying.
I just kept going and going, and also it's just a lot of people are scared of the consequences, what could happen if you crash or whatever. Then it's just, for example, you have to take an SIV course. Make collapses by yourself with someone on the radio, a professional who can help you through this. And if you do the SIV course and you go back on the mountain, you feel so much better because you know how to handle the glider.
Yeah.
And more skills, less stress. And this is also how I got rid of the fear. Also, Acro, it's I was the most fear I had was in Acro. At the beginning of my Acro career, I was doing helicopters.
Yeah.
Where actually your glider, one side is moving backwards, one side is moving forward, so your glider is
Yeah.
making.
It's like a flat spin.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it makes the rotation of a helicopter.
Yeah.
I was training this and I was super scared to do it, but still, I just did it because I knew that if I do it more often and often, I get used to it, and then eventually it goes away.
And now there will be viewers, I can imagine, that think if you have a fear of flying in normal conditions in the mountains,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get past that, how can you ever make the step of going to acro flying? Well, that's even more scary.
Yeah, I was scared for sure, but I just did it. I knew in my mind, I have my reserve, I have a second reserve, because if you do Acro, you always take 2 or 3 reserves. And you knew nothing goes wrong. Like, you need to have this mindset, nothing goes wrong. You have 2 reserves.
Yeah.
If you get a collapse or whatever and you don't know what to do, you just throw your reserve. If that goes away, if that one goes wrong or anything goes in the lines, what normally doesn't happen, you have a second one.
Yeah.
And in other cases, some people have 3 reserves. So
So let me summarize. You knew you were scared.
Yeah,
but you also knew that there was nothing to be scared of.
yeah, exactly.
And you just had the force of will, the willpower, the
Yeah.
mindset, as you call it,
Yeah,
to go through with it.
yeah,
Why?
exactly.
Why would you go through it? You could have chosen any other hobby.
Yeah,
Why did you go
exactly.
through with it?
Because I knew I liked this sport so much, and
Yeah.
I saw people doing all those tricks, and I was like, if they can do it, I can do it as well. And it's so cool if you can do this trick. It's just an achievement for yourself. It's
Yeah.
just, it makes you feel like a better person. You did something great. Through stuff, you trained for it, and then once you did it, you're like, I did it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Does that do anything to the fear? When-
Yes,
yeah?
the further you go, the more relaxed you become.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it's like more skill, less stress. What you just said. You have someone else who is guiding you.
Yeah.
Maybe also this will help people do something, because, for example, just another topic, when you're lazy at home and you're like, I have to do this, 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 and you want to go for a run, but you're too lazy. You're like, oh no, I'm just gonna watch
Sitting on the
movies.
couch like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, sitting on the couch,
Yeah.
watching movies, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then a friend comes in and says, oh, let's go for a run and let's do this and let's do this. You're more likely to go for a run with a friend of you than go running by yourself.
Yeah.
And then an SIV course, it's almost the same. Like, of course you have to sign up and everything, and you have to pay, you have to do that by yourself.
Yeah, that's a
But
small step.
It's a really small step. It really pushes you to the next level to learn more about your glider and the behavior of your glider. So when something will happen one day in the air, like when you get a collapse, you know how to respond to it correctly.
Yeah.
And with a friend, it's always nice, because with a friend you always push each other a little bit better, a little bit further, and it makes you a better pilot as well, because it's also always a little bit of competition.
Yeah.
Even when you don't say it is, it's always a little bit of competition. You want to show your friend like, oh, I can do
this.
it, and yeah, that just keeps you pushing, and it's to your advantage for you and your friend as
Yeah.
well. So
So you help each other.
yeah, exactly. You help each other, and it pushes you further, and it makes you like a better pilot,
Yeah.
and you will fly safer the
Yeah.
rest of your life. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So the points we talked about so far, to summarize shortly, it's about mindset, knowing that there is this irrational fear,
Yeah.
but just sticking with it, dealing with it.
yeah. Realize like what are the consequences.
You know that you're afraid, but you know it's an irrational fear.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
just push through it.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly,
flying, and
for
it will
sure.
and it will get less then. Yeah.
For sure, and yeah,
And do an SIV course.
do an SIV
Yeah.
course, and if possible, do a little bit of Acro on top of that as well.
Yeah.
Because it just makes you a better pilot as well.
I know exactly what you mean. I know it brought me a lot of relaxation, a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So when those things that you were afraid of happen,
Yeah.
you're not afraid at that moment anymore. You
Yeah,
know what to do,
exactly.
you know how to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Exactly.
And it's just like a walk in the park almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any more advice on dealing with fear of flying?
Maybe watch videos
Yeah.
of other people. It's more improving your skills,
Yeah.
what will eventually
Decrease your fear.
Decrease your fear.
Yeah.
See how people do it, how they control, what happens if something happens, what are the consequences. Watch all this stuff.
Yeah. And you mean educational videos where people explain how they deal with certain situations.
Yeah, and also practical videos. See how they respond to stuff, what happens at the moment
Yeah,
in the video.
yeah.
And it can be anything. It can be Acro.
Can be cross country.
Blooper videos, you can learn a lot of them
Yeah.
as well, because yeah, you can really analyze those videos and see what's going wrong, and most of the time it's the pilot's fault. So,
Yep.
yeah, watch videos.
Yeah. Watch videos. And you have more
Oh, yeah.
advice.
Yeah, and just always improve your ground handling. No matter how good you think you are, and even if you think you don't need ground handling, still keep doing ground handling.
But look, most people don't want to do ground handling. They think ground handling
it's boring.
is
and
boring.
blah,
It's
blah,
something
yeah.
you should do when you're learning to fly, when you're still like a newbie. Why is ground handling so important? Why is it not only for beginners?
Because a lot of things you can do on the ground, you can take those skills, you can take it in the air as well. Things what happen in the air, you can most likely simulate it on the ground. A collapse, for example, you can simulate it on the ground, and you can, on the ground you don't have to, you don't crash because you're on the ground.
Yeah.
The glider collapses. In a worst case, the glider goes to the right and falls on the ground.
Yeah.
So sit on the ground or stand on the ground or whatever. pull an asymmetrical collapse and respond to it properly. And how you responded to it on the ground, you would do it the same in the air.
Yeah.
Do it multiple times where it goes fluently and you don't even have to think about it.
So it's working on what we call muscle memory.
Exactly.
Your body
Yeah,
knows
it's
how to
muscle
respond to certain
exactly.
situations.
Yeah, it's muscle memory. It happens on the ground. You just do it 100 times, 200 times, more, whatever, a lot of times. And when it happens in the air, you know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Let's say someone viewing this wherever in the world, what kind of location would be good for ground running? What should you have? Like a nice flat field with a bench on it? Is that okay?
A bench can also be fun. Yeah, it's the same with a pole. With a bench, just stand on the bench, walk to the right, walk to the left.
You don't need
a
to have...
bench is also, you have like the really small thing for your back where you're leaning against.
Yeah.
Try to balance on this. All this kind of little stuff. Just
You don't need like a big fun park.
No,
a bench in a field is okay.
You don't need a skate park on the
No,
dune or whatever.
no.
No, you can just use all those little things. Even if you don't have anything, you can do spins. So pull one side, make the glider spin 360 degrees, and yeah, keep it off the ground while doing this.
Oh, that's
for
interesting.
Example.
Yeah.
Like there are many tutorials on YouTube where you can find this how to do it. So yeah, it's called a ground spin or 360 spin or something in this direction.
And this helps you recognize the stall point or the point of going negative as well.
As well, yeah. And you know the stall point because you have it upside down. You know exactly. It just.
And this feels the same as in the air.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is a really important point because it is a cause of a lot of accidents. People not knowing where their stall point is, responding too violently with not enough weight shift, spinning the glider and ending up upside down in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Great advice. Yeah. Luke, thanks a lot for sharing all this information with us.
Yes, no problem.
It's great. It's great to hear from your perspective what you did to deal with fear.
Yeah.
And it's mainly focused on getting more skills and getting the right mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Know the consequences and getting the right skills so you feel more relaxed in the air.
Yeah. I think people might have gotten interested in seeing what you do and want to maybe see more of you. So maybe you can tell the people watching this at home where can they find you? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, my main platforms are Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. On Instagram I post most frequently. Every week I post a video or content or even more. Just about my life, my paragliding, my lifestyle. You can see some tricks there, some ground handling tricks. Just check it out. Also my YouTube, I post videos about Acro mostly. Also some dune soaring as well. So
Great. I will leave links to his social media in the description down below, so be sure to check those out and give Luke a nice shout out. So I really hope you have some inspiration and some new ideas to get even better at dealing with your fear of flying. Many thanks to you, Luke. I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, for sure.
If you appreciate my content, please subscribe and leave a like. That way you show it to the YouTube algorithm as well, which in turn will display my content to other viewers. That way you help me help them fly with less stress and more skills. See you next week. See you in the air.